Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Matt with RAR TCG, and I'm excited about today's video because we're going to be talking all about growing on social media, growing your brand. We're going to talk about some pitfalls, some things that you should avoid when it comes to posting content, growing your brand awareness online. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about the roller coaster of posting because there's a lot to this. And there's some like pitfalls and traps that you should avoid along the way. So first off, I just want to encourage everyone to hit that like button and subscribe. We are trying to hit that 1,000 sub goal. Obviously, that's our goal here on YouTube. We're getting closer every single day, already over 670 subscribers right now. Let's see if we get 10 likes on this video. Share this with some friends if you're feeling brave, but let's go ahead and dive in. So the first pitfall and trap of social media is thinking that things have to be perfect, okay? You get into this kind of paralysis. You're consuming so much content about creating content that then you don't make content, right? Like you just keep evaluating like, hey, do I have the right tripod? Do I have the right camera? Do I have the right lights? What about my content? Does it follow the right kind of loop and structure and outline? You can go down the rabbit hole so deeply that you forget what you're even there for, which is to actually turn your camera on and post to Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, all of those things. Like, are you going to go live? All of those things. It's super important that you just start posting. I cannot stress that enough. So many people get so distracted and get so lost down the rabbit hole of content creation that they never actually create any content. So that's the first pitfall that I want to encourage you to avoid. You don't have to post perfect content, okay? You just need to post. And you need to have some sort of cadence. We're going to talk more about that in a little bit. But the second mistake I want to help you avoid when it comes to posting content is do not compare. Comparison is the thief of joy. That's what everyone says. It's super true. And I have no idea who said that first. But here's the deal. You cannot look to the person to your left or to your right when it comes to your content creation journey, okay? You have to stay focused on yourself because you and you alone are the only person that can adapt, change, and evolve your content to become better over time. And the third kind of mistake here, the third kind of trap when it comes to content creation is actually related to the other two. You got to get started. You can't compare. When you compare, you start to try to mimic other people, okay? Now stop, pause, don't actually pause, but think real fast with me. Let's think about content in the Pokemon world, okay? Let's think about content that's oftentimes in the card world and Pokemon, all that, TCG. What kind of content is mimicked? What kind of content is done over and over and over again? Well, the first thing that comes to my mind are pack rips, right? People that rip packs on videos, they want to be the next Deep Pocket Monster. But before Deep Pocket Monster, guys, there was PokeRev, there was Real Breaking Nate. You could name probably dozens and dozens of people that have done breaking type content, pack rips and everything like that from every single card game out there. Every single, like Yu-Gi-Oh has pack rippers. Magic the Gathering has people that open packs. We got rip and shippers now all over the place. So it can be easy when you're trying to evaluate, hey, what kind of content do I want to create? It can be easy to fall into maybe that way of thinking, like I want to rip packs. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with opening packs for content. I actually sprinkle a little bit of that into my content as well. And I try to do a fun little spin on it. Like I love training strongman. On nights that I'm at the gym training for my upcoming competition, I don't have a lot of time outside of that to create content. So sometimes I'll throw a pack in the bag, I'll do some sort of video at the gym and open a pack. Just as a way that I can keep content coming in, a different kind of fresh take on my type of content, things that I'm interested in. But honestly, those pack opening videos do not perform well. So that's the third kind of pitfall I'm going to help you avoid. You don't have to copy. Okay, comparison a lot of times can lead to copying and mimicking other people's content. And I just want you to know that like you can create content that's unique to you. You don't have to be another Deep Pocket Monster or another PokeRev. You can be yourself and you can create content that's true to who you are and what your passions are in the hobby. Now, you may be looking at me and say, hey, you're just creating Pokemon business content. Isn't that just like PokeNE? Well, to be honest, PokeNE, Nostalgianomics, even PokeRev, Real Breaking Nate, all of these people have influenced me because I've consumed their content. So yes, you will see different areas of my content that are influenced by others. In fact, if you go and look at some of my early long form content video, I even did like little mini what did PokeNE always call it? Like, what is the word? It doesn't matter. I used to do something that PokeNE did as well. Credibility check. That's what it was. Oh my gosh. I used to talk about my cells and everything as a way to build credibility. I think that's an awesome idea, and that's something that I was influenced by and I adopted into my content, and you may see that moving forward as well. I also watched Rudy from Alpha Investments. I love his he's so chill on screen, on camera, and I really want to be like that as well. So there's like different aspects of different content creators that I really look up to that I would like to kind of incorporate into my content. But by no means, I am not PokeNE. And if I try to be another PokeNE, I will suck at it. I'm not Rudy from Alpha Investments. I'm not PokeRev. I'm not Real Breaking Nate. I've got to be true to who I am. And one of the things that I want to do is always add value. So that's why we're talking about this right now. And I'm spending so long on this topic because I want to help you kind of break through the noise, right? You're prepping, like you're prepping to sell cards online. You know that being present on social media is huge. And so you're thinking like, what kind of content do I want to post? I want to encourage you that you can post any type of content. Just make sure it's true to who you are and speaks to your passions, okay? So pitfall number 1 is to actually start posting. Don't get lost in the rabbit hole. Pitfall number 2 is to avoid comparison, okay? Stay focused on yourself. Everyone starts at basically 0 followers, and they have to build up over time from there. And pitfall number 3 is don't feel like you have to copy someone else or try to be just like someone else. Be yourself and what you're passionate about. So let's pivot a little bit from the pitfalls to then like, how do you start building and how do you improve over time? Well, number 1, you got to post, and you got to post regularly, okay? You got to create. That's step number 1. There's going to be a couple of C's here. Create is step number 1, okay? Create, all that means is like record on your camera, create a video, post it, okay? That's all it is. You just got to create. Number 2 is you got to be consistent. Create and consistent. Okay? Consistency is a lot of different things. You can be consistent at the time of day that you post. I don't do that. What I try to do and what consistency means to me is I'm going to post regularly multiple times every week. There are some days that I do not post content, but every week you can expect there to be 2 to 4 videos that I post online. Maybe sometimes more. On really rare occasions where things are super busy, maybe a little bit less, but every week I'm consistently posting, okay? That is super important. So create. You want to be consistent, and then you want to continue, okay? Continuing just means that you're going to keep that rhythm of creating and staying consistent, because over time you're going to build up data. You're going to realize like, hey, this one type of video, my pack ripping videos, they don't do very well. They just get like maybe 50 to 200 views. But then all of a sudden I talked about my business and what I was focusing on, and that got 500 to 1,000 views. So you're going to notice some trends and patterns in the content you're creating, and that's going to lead to this third part of growing your business, your social media presence and your business online. This is so important, you guys. When you see positive reactions, when you see positive feedback from your videos, increase likes, increase comments. Comments are huge, guys. When people jump down in the comment section, they interact with you. They say, I hated this video. They say, I love this video. Those are massive, okay? Do not ignore your comments. Increase followers and subscribers as well. Here's the deal, guys. When you see increased metrics like that, engagement metrics, things are looking good, you want to really analyze what about that video got people engaged, okay? Maybe it was the type of content. Maybe you're the type of person that can present something about business really well. I'm actually kind of riffing a little bit about my own story when it comes to Pokemon content. Because the truth is on social media, you can grow any way you want to. You can grow ripping packs. You can grow without ever talking or showing your face. You could just be doing something on screen that's creative. You can be entertaining and do skits and comedy. You could be really informational. There's like 100,000 different ways that you can grow online. For me, I found that more of my informational content and more of this like kind of inspirational, informational added value content does the best. And so that's kind of the niche that I've kind of fit into and I've kind of continued to develop. And that's the most important thing. When you see something that works, double down on it. That doesn't mean it has to be the only type of content you post, but you should start thinking of ways to replicate what you just did. It doesn't mean you post the same video and the same content time after time after time. It means how can you formulate content in that same way again, so that those people that enjoyed your last video can show back up and they know what to expect from you. As I said, it doesn't have to is it shoehole? Whatever. It doesn't have to corner you into a specific type of content, but also at the same time, if you're trying to build up content to grow a following, then it's okay that you have a main type of content that you stick to. Think about any of your favorite YouTubers or social media influencers, okay? Let's take a couple for example. Nostalgianomics. What do you think of? You think of investing content, right? First and foremost. Does Nostalgianomics talk about other things? Yes, but his bread and butter is going to be that investing piece of his content to a point where I think he really, really pushes it, right? Then you think of PokeNE. PokeNE is actually a great example of someone that's been able to diversify his content. He does React content, he covers drama, but like what really built him up in his niche was the business content. I'm sure he still gets regular reviews on all of those business videos that he released because they're really great. And then let's take Rudy from Alpha Investments, another investment type content creator like Nostalgianomics. And I would say obviously Nostalgianomics was very influenced by Rudy. However, I will say that they're completely different, okay? Rudy's approach to content is totally different, and the way he's able just to vibe, flow, add humor in, and everything is really spectacular. Not to mention all of his like financial knowledge and everything that he's learned through life that he's able just to sprinkle in through videos so seamlessly. Crazy stuff, I'm just saying. Let's take someone else. Let's take PokeRev. PokeRev is another great example of someone that has a really strong niche, which is opening product, super edited videos, just like Real Breaking Nate, and does an amazing job. You could literally just look at your favorite content creators, whoever they may be, and really analyze their videos. What makes them popular? What about their videos makes them them? It doesn't always have to be well edited. It doesn't have to always be X, Y, or Z thing. That is called finding your niche, and you need to do that too. And the only way you do that is by posting, finding what works, doubling down on it, and then continuing to kind of evolve and improve from there. Now let's talk a little bit about the roller coaster of social media, because once you get started on this journey, you do feel this sense of like, oh my gosh, I haven't posted in 2 days. I really need to get in front of the camera. So it becomes kind of this chore for you, but that's not a bad thing. It's not bad in life to have these structured elements, kind of chores that you have to do. You gotta check it off the list. Because one, it keeps you learning, right? You can't just turn on the camera and then just, not have anything to present. You gotta think about what kind of videos you wanna post. But once you do that, you're gonna notice that there's this kind of roller coaster feeling, okay? Because obviously all of us want to have a large following. That's a given, right? But at the end of the day, you're gonna see some videos do really well. You're gonna see a video get 5, 10,000 views, and then you're gonna post a video that you worked on even harder and it's gonna get 500 views and very little engagement. Okay? When you get on this consistency and this roller coaster, when you start posting consistency, you're on the roller coaster of content, you're gonna notice that there's some high highs and some low lows. But here's the deal. Stay the course. Stay constant, stay consistent, keep posting. Because those high highs and low lows, when you know that you found your niche, you can deal with those better, okay? It doesn't mean you're a better social media person whenever you have higher views, or it doesn't mean that you're terrible when you had lower views. Are there things that you can review and learn from those better performing videos? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, you and I cannot control what the algorithm picks up and what the algorithm decides not to pick up. Okay, you can do things to try to adapt and evolve and get better. Maybe your hook at the beginning of the video wasn't quite good enough. Actually, a little side note, I've been thinking about my long form content videos and I don't have this like catchy hook, at the beginning. I was like, hey guys, it's Matt again with another video. We're gonna talk about this. I think that's fine. It's been working for me pretty well. But what if I added, just for the sake of using me as an example, what if I had a little hook at the beginning to try to get people kind of engaged in the first, 5 to 15 seconds of the video? What if I did something kind of fun? I'm going to try to do that in the next coming videos. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, here's the other thing about the content creation roller coaster, okay? There are certain goals in social media that you want to hit, okay? Like on TikTok, I think it's 10K followers. On YouTube, you're looking to hit 1,000 subscribers with a certain amount of watch time so you get monetized, okay? There are certain kind of thresholds that you want to hit when it comes to your journey so that you can start kind of monetizing your social media and your posting. Okay, how cool would it be for us on this channel to hit 1,000 subscribers and have that help support me and my family and my business? It'd be so lit. Obviously, that's the goal. But then when you get over that milestone, okay, there's never enough. Like you hit 1K, then you want 2K. You hit 2K, then you want 5, 10, 15, 20, 50. It just never stops. But what I want to help you understand is that, yes, you want to grow. But at a certain point, your followers, your subscribers, all of those things are just vanity metrics, okay? What I mean by that, I really mean that. They're just for show. That's what a vanity metric is. It's just for show. It's just to say, hey, look at this. Look how cool this is. It means nothing outside of that initial milestone that unlocked the door to monetization for you or unlocked the door to some sort of perk or benefit, right? So what I'm trying to say is your followers and your subscriber count does not define you as a content creator, as a business owner, okay? I totally understand anyone on YouTube that is really pushing for 1,000 subscribers. I do it every video right now. That totally makes sense. But after 1,000 videos, after my channel gets monetized, that has been done. And yes, I would love to continue to grow. I would love one day to have 2,000 subscribers. How crazy would that be? But at the end of the day, that's just a vanity metric. It's a fun one, but I cannot have that define my success, okay? Who I am as a person, who I am as a business owner is not defined by some silly little number on social media or YouTube. If you don't leave with anything but that, I hope that helps you, okay? You can be an amazing business owner. You can be an amazing content creator and not have 1 million subscribers, okay? If you are an amazing content creator, then over time, you're gonna naturally grow and there's no telling what the ceiling or limit is on your growth. So we can't cap it, right? We can't artificially say, oh, I'll never hit a certain amount, right? But we can say early on that no matter how large or how small my account is, I will not let a vanity metric impact my peace of mind, my heart, my identity. Anyways, getting too deep here, getting too deep. But yeah, That's what I want to leave you with today in this video. I hope that was helpful. We talked about a couple pitfalls to avoid. We talked about some tips to help you grow, which is to create, to be consistent, and to continue. Okay, those three things. If you walked away with anything, go create something. Just try it. Create something, be consistent, continue, and don't give up on yourself before you even try. You know what I mean? And then lastly, the roller coaster of social media. There's high highs and low lows. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm going to leave you with a little story. I promise we're almost done. It's 20 minutes already. Wow. Um, so I've grown a couple different platforms to pretty large numbers in my opinion. So during COVID, I started posting it on my personal TikTok, which is you can go check it out. It's Matthew Gassa. I got like 50,000 subs or followers or whatever. I don't post regularly on on that channel anymore. Sometimes I go through seasons where I go back and I post, but it's really about like answering people's questions about faith, God, who Jesus is, that kind of stuff. Because honestly, my faith and religion are really important to me. And I love to practically answer people's questions because a lot of times it gets so convoluted, it gets so complicated, right? I don't like talking over people's heads. I like to break things down in a really easy to understand way. Well, the purpose of this conversation right now is not to talk about religion. It's to talk about my experience on TikTok as a social media platform. So I grew that account to 50,000 subscribers, and I had some videos go extremely viral. With one of them getting, I don't even remember. It had like several 100,000 views just for me, but it was a challenge video, so it had thousands, like tens of thousands of reposts and people using my sound, and it reached like over 1 million people or whatever. Like, that was a really high moment on that roller coaster ride, okay? That was crazy. But again, that high moment, as cool as it was, does not define who I am today. And then on the Pokemon side, on the TCG side, I posted different kinds of videos as I got started with RAR TCG. And then one of the videos that popped off and really helped me define my niche was one of my bulk buying videos that got right now over 100,000 views. And that really helped catapult my growth on Instagram, kickstart a lot of things for what's going on, gave me kind of the motivation to start posting these long form content videos. And what I want to let you know is that those highs are they can really energize you to do more. But just know, like, that roller coaster is also going to take a turn down. And there's videos that I put a lot of work into that really didn't even get 1,000 views. You know what I mean? So like, it's okay. You gotta expect the highs and the lows. But at the end of the day, where you're at, you need to equalize that and realize that these vanity metrics like likes, shares, followers, subscribers, all of those things should not ever define who you are and who you are as a business owner. Let me know your comments down below. I'd love to know your thoughts on this video, and I hope to see you for the next one. Peace.